The Trump administration has announced major troop reductions in the Middle East. Thousands of U.S. soldiers will be pulled out of Afghanistan and Iraq by January. That's just days before President-elect Joe Biden is due to take office. So this will leave about 2,500 troops in each country, the lowest levels in nearly 20 years. This decision has fueled speculation that President Trump might move to reduce the size of the U.S. deployment in other countries as well. And that could include South Korea, where over 28,000 troops are stationed. The move also comes just days after Mr. Trump fired Defense Secretary Mark Esper. The president is continuing to reshape his administration. The latest departure is Chris Krebs, a director of the Department of Homeland Security. He denied there was widespread voter fraud in the recent election, a claim Mr. Trump says is highly inaccurate.
And for more, Simon Marks joins us live from Washington, D.C. Simon, tell us about the implications of pulling troops back from the Middle East at this time.
Well, the major implication for President Trump is that he's essentially overriding the objections not just of his generals and the men who, until this time last week, were his senior officials at the Pentagon, but he's also overriding the objections of senior Republicans in Congress, including Mitch McConnell, the Republican leader in the Senate, who is implacably opposed to this troop withdrawal. He says that it will be a huge win for terrorists, and critics of President Trump point to the fact that within an hour of the announcement being made, 4 Katyusha rockets rained down on the green zone that surrounds the U.S. embassy in Baghdad. So this is a high-stakes move by President Trump, absolutely seeking to stamp his authority as commander-in-chief on a military that has been pretty recalcitrant and very hesitant to move ahead with these troop withdrawals from Iraq and Afghanistan. The president says, I was elected back in 2016 on a ticket of ending foreign wars, and that is what I am going to do. The critics that include, as I say, many Republicans, say that he is putting the remaining U.S. forces in Iraq and Afghanistan, 2,500 that will remain in both countries, at risk. And there are also some here who wonder now if the military is going to engage in what they refer to as a slow walk of this order. In other words, try and delay its implementation. Supposed to kick in on January the 15th, 5 days before the inauguration. Might they seek to try and slow walk this and see whether President-elect Joe Biden overturns it when he becomes president of the United States 5 days later?
Also, Simon, speculation that South Korea could also be next. Do you see that happening?
Well, it's definitely possible, Ateli. I mean, we know that back in July, President Trump ordered the Pentagon to present him with alternatives for reducing the size of the 28,500 strong force that is deployed in South Korea. He definitely believes that the United States, and he's expressed this view on numerous occasions, is spending far too much money in the defense of the Korean Peninsula. And it's perfectly possible that if he moves forward with further troop reductions, South Korea would be top of his list, along with Somalia and Germany in second and third places. He's already brought some troops back from Germany earlier during the course of his administration. So this definitely seems to be a president in terms of military deployments, and now also politically, with that firing of the top election official at the Department of Homeland Security last night, who seems to be in a mood to kind of get things squared away and cemented in place before he leaves office on January the 20th, even though the president, of course, still has not evinced any recognition of the fact that a transfer of power to Joe Biden's administration is right round the corner.
Many thanks for getting us up to speed with events in Washington, D.C. Simon Marks speaking to us from the U.S. Capitol.